Hi, everybody. My name is Aja Peters. I'm a writer, director, and producer, and I'm also the owner of The Film Culture, a media and production company where we're dedicated to highlighting and showing love to Black films and TV shows that have graced our screens for many years. And I'm so happy today to be talking to Gina Prince-Bythewood as well as Esther Wallace. How you ladies doing today?
We're good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. So we're here today to talk about Drop One, the collection between Love and Basketball and Playa Society. My first question is, how did you guys meet and then also decide on this collaboration?
Um, I had been thinking about wanting to put out a collection and merchandise the film for the first time because I'd never allowed it before. And I was thinking, who would I want to reach out to? And I've been such a fan of Esther's work in Playa Society. Every time I go to a game, every time you watch a game, anytime you watch an interview, you see her gear and people rocking it. And it just has such a dopeness to it. And that's what I wanted for this. And reached out to Esther in the hopes that she'd say yes. And it was beautiful to hear that she was a fan of the film. And it's just been an incredible, inspiring experience.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, it was a no-brainer. Got the call and I was ready. I feel like I've been probably preparing for this for all my life, you know. In 2000, I still remember going to the movie theater with my brother who took me and my sister to see it. So, ever since that moment, I've been ready for it.
Love and Basketball is so iconic. This year marked 25 years since the movie has been out. Gina, how does it feel to be able to see your film kind of take on this new story in the story of TV, in the story of hoodies and shirts, and then all the other accessories that are coming from this drop?
Mhm. I mean, it's an amazing thing that 25 years later we're talking about this film that was such a fight to get made. To put a character like Monica up on the screen, to put a love story about these two athletes. And I feel like this drop is a continuation of that. The fact that Monica represented me and so many young women who love sports, who would, love to wear sweats and hoodies and beanies. And back then, we were told there's something wrong with us. And now all of that is being celebrated in this moment. So to be able to be a part of that and rock gear that I would love to rock as a kid it's just fun.
And then with both of you guys being former athletes, how do you think athletics has prepared you for life outside of sports?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of I didn't have a whole lot of experience in running a business when I started in 2018, but what I did have experience in was playing basketball, being a good teammate, leading my team as a team captain, being coachable, all of those things. And so all I knew to do was to apply those things and try to build a business around that, be the type of leader, that I would have wanted to see, whether it was, taking that, what I learned on the court, taking it into the boardroom or into the business and all of those things. So, basketball at a certain point was everything I knew. And now I've been able to kind of create that culture and atmosphere in business. And so it's been great to have had that experience. I don't think I would have even had the confidence to be an entrepreneur if it wasn't for those experiences.
Yeah, that's dope. It's the same. Me as a director, everything that I learned playing sports and especially basketball, I've been able to apply. And it's those lessons that it teaches you. Leave everything out on the floor, outwork everybody, know that it's okay to want to be the best, that aggression is good, and stamina, because this industry is tough. You got to know how to fight, and you got to know how to stay in the fight. And I don't know if I wasn't an athlete, if I would have had those lessons taught to me, especially being a young woman.
And the film is so iconic. One of the lines that Monica's dad says to her is that, maybe you should think about other interests. Have you guys ever came in contact with somebody who said that you should pivot toward other interests where maybe the thing that you were super focused on wasn't coming to fruition as fast? And if so, what did you do with that advice? Did you stay, on your own path, or did you take heed of their words?
I've never been asked that before. Um, Yeah, I mean, certainly going into this industry, I was told how hard it was. I was told you had to be a certain way to be able to make it. But I think when you have a dream, and it's kind of like with Monica that it's an impossible dream, but you believe it so deeply that you're going to make it happen. That's how I've always been. I knew I wanted to be a director, even though I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't have Black women to look up to who were in this position early on. But that thing of like, I believe it so I can see it. And that was just my North Star. So it's a beautiful thing to be living my dream 25 years later.
Yeah. And I would just say similarly, you have to be prepared for the fight. So I mean, if you're hearing when you're hearing things like, maybe change your mind or change your path or change your course, when you're willing to hear that and still keep going, I think that that's just a good sign of being ready to fight because nothing comes easy, nothing worth having comes easy. And so I think that's just a part of the journey. And so it's a great part of the journey too. You learn to appreciate all of those things, right? Because then you can look back and say, wow, I really didn't quit or I really didn't stop, even though everybody was telling me I was crazy. I look back to 2018 when I said I was going to start a women's sports focused brand, and everybody was like, what are you talking about? Why would you want a WNBA license? Why would you want to do all those things? And now, every time I'm on social media, every time I'm reading the news, it's all about the growth of the industry and all of those things, and to have this amazing opportunity. I'm glad I stayed in and kept fighting for sure.
With Love and Basketball being so iconic, in fact, I don't just have it on DVD once, but I have it on DVD twice.
Oh, the
This
Criterion.
this
Okay.
movie has stood the test of time for sure. So many iconic lines, so many quotables. Oh no, are they cussing their mama in Spain? The only reason you're here is because Tanya Randall got pregnant and decided not to come. How do you guys choose what moments from the film you're going to highlight with these drops?
Well, I'm going to leave that to Esther because I had ideas and then Esther did her first presentation and started off the first quarter, which was the first drop with Ball Better Than You. And I was like, oh, she gets it. So Esther, take this one.
Well, Gina, I will say that I have seen this movie. Even since we first talked, I've seen it another 20 times. So I was, getting ready, watching film, studying the game, all of that. But I will say I probably know the movie by heart. But at the end of the day, like I think Play Society is very much rooted in the players and their fans. We're rooted in community, so we're gonna listen. And a lot of it comes from, like you just said, you just rattled off a few lines, and we're probably gonna be like, that might be some insight. So it's great to have input from the community, from people who love the movie, from people who love women's sports and things like that. So we'll do a lot of listening. And then we'll do a lot of, for me, it's listening to Gina as well and carrying out that vision. Because I think, after 25 years, it's like, what do you want to see first? Like, what should we do? How can we elevate things? And so I'm a listener at heart, and so I listen and I hope to deliver. That's my formula.
But we have heard are you cursing your mamas in Spain? We've heard that a couple times. So I'm sure that's going to show up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then before you guys get out of here, once again, I want to say congratulations on this drop. I'm tempted to buy everything because what I've seen so far is just amazing. My last question for you guys is what role do you think fashion plays in storytelling? Because especially when we look at the movie, you see Quincy, he's rocking a lot of the J's that came out back in that time. He's wearing the cement fours, even down to like how authentic all the athletes look. What role do you think fashion plays in storytelling?
Mm. I mean, it's part of character building. Love and Basketball, I had the great Ruth Carter as a costume designer, and it really was how can these clothes speak to the characters? How does Monica dress? How does as she grows, as she changes, how does her dress change? Same with Quincy. So it's just a deep part of the storytelling. Says so much about character and personality. And honestly, if Playa Society was around back then when I wrote it, her gear would absolutely have been in the film.
Um, a great fact is that Ruth Carter and I are both from Springfield, Massachusetts.
Wow.
So there's always layers to the storytelling, I'm telling you. So I'm a huge fan of not just the film itself, but different things like that. And so I've been greatly inspired by the way that fashion plays a role in this movie, in this film. And for me, I use apparel fashion as a platform to storytell. And I always say I'm not a designer, I'm a storyteller. I just happened to apply that to designing apparel at this time. And so I think that there's still so much more that I want to be able to do with it. And I think fashion is just it's a building block. And I think that's really exciting to be a part of.
Well, congratulations, ladies, on this very first drop. I'm so excited for you guys, and I just can't wait to see what it does in the community and in the culture at large.
We appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you so much. You
All
guys
right.
have a great one.
You too. Take care.
Take care.